figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night, hopes and fears written in gold.
Good morning again, and welcome to the My Tarot morning reflection, our daily inventory and chance to check in with the universe. And check. Also on our little checklist is it's just a reminder, take a breath. Start our day just slowing down for a second and taking that breath. Checking in with the universe, have the universe hold up a mirror, and then it's going to ask us, what do we see? And we should all have a method that works for us. I use the tarot, other people use yoga, other people use various forms of meditation. That's my preamble every morning. So, but literally it's just about checking in and giving ourselves a chance to have our feet flat on the floor and our butt doing the kitty dance and shoulders relaxed and neck relaxed, and listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. So there's a person that I know, actually we visited them a couple times, and they read tarot also, and she was using this tarot, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I decided to get it, and thanks to Maureen there, I've been using different decks this week. Good morning, Sandra Horn. Oh, well, you're still welcome. I'm sorry. But, hi, Maureen. So anyway, with that breath and a chance to check in with the universe, and listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. You know, as I like to say, I use the cards as my light switch. Some people, for their meditation, can use lighting a candle or ringing a bell. It's just a chance to like find something that's a light switch for ourselves. It says at least for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to say click. And I'm going to go into that different mode. I'm going to be reading at Laloon tonight. And it is always interesting because I'm just to the point where when I shuffle now, I immediately look over out of habit and see where the person's shoulders are and have they taken a breath. So, let's see what the universe has for us. So I am going to make our 3 stacks. Each one a different thread going out to the universe. Each one's like a different thought or idea, and if we believe in the multiverse, and drinking coffee. Then it's like each one of these is a different path. Because this stack will be one conversation, this will be a different conversation. And this one will take us down a totally different path. So today, let's take the top stack, which I like to think of as things that are right in front of us and we don't even see it. And I'm going to do our 3 and 1. And I don't know if it's YouTube's got an automatic algorithm, but the person who was posting, it may not have been the most positive posting, but I'm not the one deleting it, and people are more than welcome to share their own opinions. So I'm not sure why that's disappearing. But our feelings are all valid. Okay, so flipping each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. This morning we start with, we have 11. And what is 11? 11 is justice. So when we see justice, we see that she's got a straight sword here. We see that she's holding these scales for balancing. So swords are the element of air. Swords are our thoughts. Swords are our ideas. Swords are sometimes also our anxiety. And you'll notice that this justice card, that she's not blindfolded, that she can see everything right in front of us. So justice is about seeing things clearly, not seeing through emotions, not seeing through feelings, but just weighing the facts for what they are. So justice is just about seeing things clearly. So, Sandra's saying you play with your own experience and you just explain your own life. Well, Sandra, I like to think of things as all being connected. And sometimes I actually see the tarot as a Rorschach test. So you'll notice I don't use astrology and I don't use the Kabbalah and things like that. It's more along the lines of what Jung would say with archetypes. People, we all share the same feelings sometimes. Like if we see water, that cool feeling, that, things like that. So when we lay out the tarot, I like to think of it as a Rorschach test because of pareidolia. We all are pattern-seeking people. And so this morning we just triggered something that might trigger something for you that says seeing things clearly, seeing things without emotion. That could be anything that deals with work or family or things like that. But now you haven't thought about that until today, or you may have. I don't want to point fingers. But for me and for other people, we may not have thought. It's like, what is justice? What is it that I may or may not be seeing? And that's interesting because now we have the strength card. And so what is strength? Notice how she is able to just come up to this lion here. And it's not about physically subduing something. It's not about how much weight you have. This is about internal strength. So this is interesting because for the most part, we have not been getting a lot of majors lately. And now we come up with 2 majors immediately. So we're dealing first off with seeing things for the way they are. And Sandra, particularly, it's, our vision. So if we just apply this to ourselves, again, sometimes emotions and things like that can cloud how we think. And then with the strength card combined with that, if we see things the way they are, sometimes we don't like that. Sometimes we struggle. It's like, how do we deal with the truth once we see it? And it takes an internal strength because a lot of times we just don't want to deal with it. But let's see what the third card is. And the third card is the Knight of Wands. So this is a court card. And court cards can be you, could be somebody else. It could be just part of the situation. But Knight of Wands. So in the 1500s, particularly, Sandra, when the tarot first got invented, who were knights? Knights were the ones that you first sent into battle. They were the younger ones. They were ready to jump into something. They took care of it for you. And then wands. What do we use wood for? It's for fire. So wands are the element of fire, which is our actions and our activity and our movement. It's also our creativity and our passions. So just kind of looking at this now without even turning over the advice card. Today it's about seeing things clearly for the way they are, not letting the emotions get in the way. And then filtering that and saying, this is what's real. This is, and that inner strength that sometimes we need to confront or move forward or acknowledge without the emotion. Because then we send in the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is saying, don't think about it. Do what we need to do. What's that? Who invented the first sword? Not really sure who did. So today it's about taking action, seeing things for the way they really are, and then just what's it going to take to do, for example, the next right thing. Sometimes just that phrase, what do I need to do the next right thing? And that's where we just do it. If we think too much about it, sometimes we're going to hesitate. But this is the advice card. And the advice card is the Queen of Wands. So, this is why I like turning the cards over, Sandra, one at a time, because I like telling the story, and you never know what is going to be. It's like life. You think you know where things are going, and we talk about the cards. Notice I just kind of described the cards until you flip the last card over. And just like life, it's like all of a sudden it's like it can change the entire picture. Because here where we have the Knight of Wands, which is just jumping in there and taking care of stuff. Well, the advice card, being the Queen of Wands, is saying, whoa. Don't just jump into it. Queens are about empathy. Queens are that mothering type. Queens are the ones that make sure the people in the kingdom are fed. Queens are the ones that want to listen in the situation. So this is saying that, yes, things need to get done, and it's fine to be the Knight of Wands. But instead of just jumping in and all, it's also about for the advice of what would a queen say then? The Knight of Wands goes before the Queen. And what does she say? She says, okay, we got to get this done. But don't forget about that strength card above, which is right in the center, which means that we also will see things not only the way they are, but have the strength to do what we should. And that doesn't just mean jumping in like the Knight of Wands, which is fine because that means we're taking action. But don't forget about also taking that breath and seeing through our empathy, seeing through how this makes us feel. So it's kind of at odds almost with the Justice card. But like I say, there's what we should do, and then there's what's right. So the Justice card, think about that. Because of laws and things like that, Sandra, we're saying this is what you should do. But the Queen of Wands, queens are the element of, each card has an element to it, and the queens are water, which is our spirit, our emotional, spirituality, emotions, and our feelings. And again, mixed with the wands, which are fire. So, yes, see things clearly. Don't let our emotions have the strength, that internal strength, to take the action that's needed. But make sure when we do it that we're also filtering it through our empathy and our intuition and our internal, that voice that we have. So it's as if the Queen of Wands was giving us the advice. So with that, Sandra, I do hope you have a really good day regardless. I understand how you feel sometimes. I've been like that. So, but still, hopefully maybe something here will help you have a better day or not. But I hope everybody else has a really, really good day. And again, take care. And Sandra, I will be here tomorrow. So thank you very, very much. And take care, everybody. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Whisper ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the